Woo! We're on and popping.
Woo!
Ow, ow,
Woo!
ow!
How are you?
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm working through. I'd love to see you burning something. I feel like I need to burn something.
That's the way you get it started, you know?
Yeah, I'm going to get something to burn right over here. I got
I love
something. I know
it.
I do. Ooh, I got some Palo Santo and some sage.
Palo Santo, get
You do
saved.
Palo Santo?
I'm doing Palo Santo. What I have
Hey,
right now.
everybody out there, Modern Witch Movement.
Oh, oh. Welcome
Let's gotta find a
to
lighter.
Central Chakras.
So, if you tuned in before, you know that we've already covered the first, second, and third chakra. And Yvette is a feng shui master, amazing witch. I love you so much.
I love you too, babe.
And I am I haven't done these things for 4 months now. It's hard to even claim that I am these things, but I am a massage therapist. And I graduated from hypnotherapy school, so I really love to talk about the subconscious programming. And I just wanted to start this little show with you, Yvette, because you inspire me so much. And I'm so grateful for your presence in my life. And I'm so grateful for the Modern Witch Movement platform. And I feel so full. My heart feels so full after spending the weekend with all of you witches.
I feel the same way.
So spectacular.
Yeah.
So good.
It was super magical. It was everything we needed and then some. And I'm really grateful because with this quarantine, not being able to hold circle for more than say 2-3 months with my witches is really have done a number on me, and I had no idea how much I needed it. And I mean, we laughed, we cried, we danced, we ate, we slept, we napped. I napped because it was so long.
I wish I could nap in between like little things. I would have to run out and be a mom and a wife and try to take the temperature of my whole house. So happy that somebody was napping out there. Thank you for doing that for us.
I took care of myself. I missed the class and I was really bummed out, but I felt so amazing when I woke up and I felt like I honored my body and what it needed, and I kept going through the entire weekend. It was really magical. I was really glad to see all of my witches coming from all over the world, from all parts of the country. It was really beautiful, really beautiful.
It was. I'm so grateful that Molly and Raquel put that on, and I love the ethics panel. Was awesome. For those who you can just scroll down, the ethics panel is on there, and it's just it's great just to watch and see what comes up. The lighting, please. I'm having little lighting technical difficulties. Sometimes it pops in and out, so I'm having my tech guy, aka husband, fix it for me. There we go.
Oh, yay!
Lights back on. We have a new white light on the way, so in 2 weeks when we do chakra number 5,
hey,
I'll have my ring light for that.
Beautiful. I'm really excited about that. I'll be able to see that beautiful face even better.
Yeah, so I have a personal question.
Okay.
Yvette, where are you at in your moon cycle? Thank you.
I just finished last week.
Okay. And were you at witch camp while you were on your moon?
I had just finished. Yeah, it was I had it last week, and Friday was probably my last day on my moon. It was very intense. It was a very intense one.
Yeah, I've been learning that. You've been actually teaching me a lot about how your moon's going, and I just started mine officially today. She was 2 days late. She was hanging out with you, witches, gotten all so confused.
Oh, damn. Well, happy moon day to you.
Thank you so much. Moon day on Wednesday.
Moon day on Wednesday.
Yes.
Are you ready to talk about that heart?
I'm ready to talk about some heart chakra. Definitely ready to talk about some heart chakra. You know what I'm ready to do is I realized that what I think that you're doing during these shows is the week leading up to, you're like studying it and you're doing it and you're like integrating it and like you're reading about it and you're learning and you're doing the things. And then for me, I'm like the classic procrastinator. So it's like, I don't need to deal with that chakra yet, you know, but then I have to keep questioning myself. Well, where's the heart in this? Where's the heart in this? You know, because I still get stuck in those first and second chakras. I'm like still like fucking treading water over here. And so I love that you're doing the work, because I noticed that I just worked through my solar plexus after your solar plexus talk, our
Beautiful.
solar plexus talk. And now I'm really, the heart, I think, is where everything is at, where we build community and where we build that trust, right?
That's right.
So
That's right.
I'm excited to talk about it. I was wanting to. I love this little chart. Last week, or the last time we did it, I think that it could have been easy to get lost if you've never even heard of a chakra before. And we want to be able to educate you and give you some things to just think about. It might not be for everybody what we're talking about, but whatever we say that resonates as truth in your body and in your intuition, then go deeper into what we're saying, and then maybe explore on your own as well, and please give us feedback of how you're experiencing what's happening.
I agree. And if you find yourself watching, there's a reason for it. You're meant to be watching this. There's messages to be heard in this video, and that's going live. We are going to be talking a lot of things that perhaps some of you are not interested in, but if you just happen to be browsing and you feel attracted to whatever's happening here, stick around for a couple minutes. There might be something that source might be trying to tell you about your heart chakra.
I love that so much, because I think one thing that I want to do in these videos is like, I don't really want to be like a talking head to tell people how it is. I do just want to be a channel. Like and I know you feel the same. It's like, I just want to take my own personal experiences and how I work through them using all of my tools and share them, and hopefully be able to be of service through just talking about it.
Speaking from the heart chakra, my dear.
Aww, see, isn't she the greatest? I love it. It's so
That's
good.
all heart chakra right there.
Yeah,
I was at a witch camp this weekend. I realized I woke up after this weekend on Monday morning, feeling just on a whole nother frequency. And I can see, because I'm being way more productive in my private life, but I'm also being way more productive at work, and everyone has been noticing.
Oh wow, that's so nice. Yeah. I really feel like when you are of service to others, which I know you are, I see how you show up at your job and how you share so much and how you give so much of your precious tools away, and I appreciate it so much. And the thing is it's really important for us to have a place that we can go where we can feel like we can be like held, it's like where we can feel like, oh hey, just kick back talking to my girls,
Exactly.
Just like we used to when we used to be able to get together, it really had that feeling. Not that this is a big infomercial for Witch Camp, but
it was just so amazing. It was the therapy that I didn't know I needed, or maybe I didn't know I needed, and I just didn't know where to get it from.
How to get it, right. Yeah, I encourage everybody, if you feel called to a community, like show up. Like whatever that community is, just show up. Because that's what happened for me, is I met Raquel and you at her birthday, I believe it was, at Yoga Galactica. Woo woo! Dingle, 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 ding. I met them. I met you guys there, and then you invited me to Witch Camp almost immediately after. And I was like, yes. And that's where I really found out. And they're like, yes, we have to bring the little witch with the medicine bag. We must bring her.
We knew that you belonged right away. Right away.
And that's what I want for everyone. I really want everybody to find that place that they feel like they belong and they feel loved and supported. Like whatever that place is, it's important to have our chakras balanced when we're choosing our communities, or the sum of the people we hang out with. We want to make sure our chakras are in alignment, because we can actually maybe attract people to us that are pulling on some of those darker sides of ourselves, and we don't want to feed that part. We really want to feed the light. We want to feed the stories of the light right now as much as possible, because there's lots of darkness and lots of shadows going on. And I notice when I get fear-based in that first and second chakra, my heart closes off. Right,
that's correct. What happens? I don't know if you've ever heard of the pericardium.
No.
So apparently the heart has a membrane wall around it, and it's connected to different vessels and different nerves, and it's this basically it's its own little wall. So when we're saying like someone's build up a wall, you know what we're talking really, and you know, are is the fact that this membrane tends to change in its hardness and softness depending on how much stress or how much anxiety this person is experiencing on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know what? And that makes me think of cholesterol, right? So when it starts to
Exactly.
get hardened and it starts calcifying, we stop being able to pump that blood really well
Right.
through our organs because that stress. When we're really stressed and having that anxiety, the cortisol happens and then our body stops being able to properly flush our blood and we get hardened,
Yeah.
calcifications.
I mean, our entire system pumps through the center, and to nurture every organ of the body. So I feel like it's very important when you're talking about cholesterol and you're talking about all these issues. Yes, those are all things that do manifest physically if you have some imbalance in your heart chakra. So we will be talking
Yes.
about that in depth. We're going to be going in deep.
Yeah, what do you say? I think that we should actually, I want to go over maybe the, chakras for dummies real quick. I want to go through that just so that we can give everybody a little idea of what a chakra is. And
Yeah.
then we're going to just like take these little bits of information and we're going to go wild on it. So
Yes.
first, I
I
just
love
want to
that.
say that understanding your chakras. This is a chart that I use with my doTERRA customers and friends and community. And one of the things I love about it is basically anyone can use it. So it's super simple. And it's understanding the chakras. Chakras are the energy centers in your body through which energy flows. These energy centers are directly linked to the mental, physical, and spiritual attributes. By understanding what chakra represents and what what you can do to keep the energy flowing freely, you can achieve an optimal quality of life for yourself and those around you. Wow, dude, one fucking sentence and I'm like, I could go off on a whole tornado spin. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh
it's
yeah.
everything. It's literally, if we learn how to balance our chakras, we're gonna have an optimal quality of life for ourselves and everyone around us. Which is like, when we take care of ourselves and we take care of ourselves, then we have so much more to give, and everybody feels our vibrational energy around us. So like when we're really going down a hill, we don't want to like pull somebody down with us. So my husband had to give me this speech last night basically, and he like read to me like the Just for Today poem, because I could really spin out and then my heart starts to close up, right?
Yes.
So we learn how to balance this shit and our life is going to be optimal, which is how I want to live.
Yes, that's how everyone really wants to live. That's really the only way to do it.
Oh yeah, I feel like through the heart is where peace lies.
It's where the heavens and the earth meet, my lady. The heart.
That is a beautiful. I was at the park today and I was feeling in my body and I was like, okay, where's the heart? Where's the heart? Where's the heart coming from? And I was visualizing the first and the second, and I was doing the color visualizations while I was earthing in the ground. And I was thinking about you, and I knew you would be able to like beautifully, poetically rip it out. Say it again. Tell me what the heart is.
It's where the heavens and the earth meet. And we have 3 lower chakras below this chakra and 3 upper physical chakras below this one. So the picture of it, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a triangle pointing downwards, meaning the heaven coming down on us, and it's a symbol of earth, a triangle going upwards. Symbolizing earth, always us trying to always rise, to be bigger, to be better, to the divine.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, so we learned that. I learned that at witch camp. I think was that Nina's talk with the elements?
Yes.
I think it was. And we saw the little symbols, right? We saw the symbols of the triangle going up. And then is this the symbols of earth, right? Would it be this or not?
Well, this would be the symbol of air and fire.
Air and fire. Oh,
so the air, meaning spirit from the heavens coming down on us. And this would be the symbol of water and earth, meaning emotions and us as a human earthly being trying to rise and meet with the divine. It's really fucking beautiful. There's also 12 gold petals on the picture of the heart chakra. And those 12 petals are actually the reflection of the crown chakra. And that's what connects our earthly love to the divine love. And you really cannot open your heart chakra or balance it in any way unless you've worked on your heart chakra, because they're connected.
Wow.
They're highly
It
connected.
seems like the way to really work on our heart chakra would be to call on the heavens.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
That's the way.
It feels like
prayer.
this is prayer. We do
for
this
prayer,
prayer.
exactly.
Right
When
at
we
the
do
heart.
prayer, and if you're sitting somewhere where you actually really need to connect with source, and you don't want to put your hands in prayer because of whatever reason, then I always recommend that you close your eyes for a few seconds and you cross your eyes and you focus on your third eye. That's like my eyes doing a prayer. That's the way
I love that.
And I've done it. I've done it at the supermarket whenever I'm in a place where I want to just kind of take a deep breath and I want to just hone into that place of serenity and just putting myself together, because sometimes my emotions get the best of me, and you start to develop anger because of your emotions. Sometimes I'm in a hurry, and usually when I'm in a hurry, something tends to happen, and I know that I'm creating resistance by creating these motions of I'm going to be late or if I'm in a hurry and trying to worry so much. And then for some reason the universe always throws you a little challenge in front, and then you get the lady who's like taking forever at the supermarket to pay, and then she busts out with a freaking paycheck, to like sign a paycheck, and I'm like,
oh yeah, remember like you need to write out a check.
I know, like I'm already like this much time I have, and I had to like stop by and get whatever I need to stop by, and something
was that today? Did that happen today?
No, it's an example, or at the gas station where someone's cracking trying to take their sweet time, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm being annoyed because I feel like this person is taking my time, and I fear like I'm losing my time. So fear again is heart chakra based, and that creates anger for me now. Now I'm irritated with this person who has nothing to do with my story, or the fact that I'm in a hurry, or the fact that I didn't wake up and take my enough time to have these things happen to me.
Yes. I always think that I do like a little side abuse when that happens. I like have this little critic come in the background, like, you're such an asshole. You never plan anything. You're never gonna amount to nothing over here. I don't know why my like little shadow angel is from New York.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. And that I feel that way. I feel like the universe is always trying to find me ways to just really connect with source. And I'm like, okay, source, thank you for bringing me this moment of lesson where I can learn. And I close my eyes, and sometimes I do the prayer, but sometimes at the supermarket I'm holding stuff and I can't do my prayer, and it really just helps to just focus on my third eye, and then just take it from there. Either do my hum or work on my a little mantra that I have. Whatever, it really just helps, because sometimes
I like the hum. I like the hum. I like that idea of doing the hum, because it's just like sometimes we just need that a little bit of release. Sometimes I also love that you suggested also, while I'm in line waiting for that lady to use her checkbook, is that when I do the cross-eyed, you also talked about doing a deep breath. So like, let's not just like ski over that, because to me the most important medicine is our breath. So
Agreed.
Tuning into our breath is like, that's tuning into our spirit. Like that's calling in spirit with our breath. Right. So I think we should do it together. Does anybody have any oils out there? I know you guys do. What do you got for heart chakra? Because I'm going to use me some geranium.
Oh, I have geranium. Tons of geranium. One quick second. Let me gather my oils. What else do I have?
I love how the oils assist me in having the deepest breaths of all times. Like, I don't even know if I was breathing before. I'll stop and think I'm taking in a deep breath, but when I'm actually inhaling the scent of a plant, the earth that I came from, when I'm pulling in my spirit, it feels like my body's being invigorated with light.
I agree.
It's unbelievable.
It's plant medicine.
Which one are you doing?
Geranium.
Yeah.
Love it.
Geranium is the oil of love and trust. So what happens is we get anxious, shortness of breath, anxiety starts to kick in, fears start to kick in, and we just we'll start getting future trippy. We get stuck up in here, our roots, everything is just completely uprooted and we're just stuck up in this frequency. But if we stop and smell the oil when we notice that we're getting like that, and then I smell it all the way in through my nose and then past my heart and into my womb. And I just take a deep inhalation. And I even just say the words love and trust. Like, I just say the words love and trust. And then it reminds me that in this moment, this one I'm in right now, where I'm smelling geranium and I'm hanging out with my girl Delia Ivette, in this moment, everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And in this moment, everything is pure. And in this moment, I am okay. And I'm not going to be future tripping because I need to open my heart and see what's in front of me and send love to it.
Thank you for that, my sister. Thank you. Thank you. I know there's many people out there watching that really need this, to hear this.
I mean, I need it. So I'm fucking stoked that I get to show up and for this ceremony that we're doing, this ceremony show of ours, and just talk through it together, you know, and work through. I love one of the things that I got a life coach a few years ago. I talked about it before, I think, on here. And what I realized in getting a life coach is I just want friends like this. I just want friends that I can, like, you know, spitball and hash out what's going on with our feelings and how we want to fix it. I want to know what you're doing, and I want to be able to contribute what I'm doing. And I think it's so cool to be able to have friends that we can share our deepest, darkest with.
Speaking from the heart, sister. Speaking from the heart. I love how every time we do a chakra, we always bring in that energy. And I don't feel like we do it intentionally. It's just the way it's always worked out. Last time we did solar plexus and we are just like, ah! And it was so solar plexus energy. And we could have talked for hours. We could have kept going. And this time around, it's all about the heart. It's all about being centered. It's all about being peaceful and just, like, you know, feeling that serenity within. I feel like both you and I are exuding that energy. I don't know if it's because of witch camp or if it's because the heart chakra is just, you know, being talked about, or that's the alignment that you and I are on right now. But it feels really good. It feels really, really good.
It really does. I'm really trusting the color right now. The color for me is vibing hard. Like when I realized it was heart chakra time and I saw my dress, I was like, yes! I'm so excited. I got my heart chakra outfit all lined up, and the color made me feel good. I even kept it like draped over my chair so that when I looked at it, it would just remind me, oh yeah, heart chakra, heart chakra.
That is so crazy that you said that, because last night I took out my caftan and I hung it outside because it's so long. I actually had to hang it in a high place, and I kept seeing it when I kept passing by, and I saw it this morning, and I just kept seeing it when I kept getting ready, and I was like, it's so beautiful. I'm glad I'm gonna get to wear it today because I don't really get to wear this often.
Right? When? It's so awesome. It's
But it really does
gorgeous.
feel good to have it hung and to just be, you know, feeding off of that energy, off of that color, and it really soothed me. I was instantly ready to do this. The heart chakra, why not? You know, we're going to talk about compassion and kindness and love and the beloved. It's really all we need, right? Love is all we need.
Oh, yeah, it is all we need. And before we go into it, I'm just going to talk about what the chakra is on the dummy chart. Not the dummy chart, and not that you're a dummy, but sometimes when we're learning things, we need to be humble and teachable and willing to listen. And so these are just the basics. And sometimes it's just understanding chakras. Very simply put.
Start with the fundamentals.
Yeah, it's so love, joy, and inner peace are like the three words that are on here, the core words that this chart would say. The heart region is located where the heart is. That's an easy one. And then it is the color of green, which is just, I'm loving it right now. And then the element is air.
Yes.
And the sound is an F, ah, which I wouldn't know how that is. Maybe Nikki will know.
Ah. Fa.
Ah.
Ah. You start to feel it once you start saying it in the right tone.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, I like it. All right, so the crystals we would use would be Amazonite, which I've never seen. Do you know it?
Yes, I own it.
Oh, can we see?
Oh, let me bring it out. Yeah, of course. You know what? I took them out to charge for the solar eclipse.
Oh, okay,
And
no
I put
pressure,
them
no
all
pressure.
in a box. And they're kind of sitting in the dark for 40 days.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's respect their process. I
I
don't
just
have any heart
realized that.
chakras.
Yeah, I could charge them and I have to sit in darkness for 40 days. And I have to, because I have some intention for them.
Wow.
So I did. I put them. They're in hiding right now. I was looking for my go-to, but I'm wearing in my jewelry. I know that jadeite or jade is also a good one, so I'm wearing jade.
Yes, I want some of that. That's a good
Really
ring.
chakra. And I don't know what this is. Maybe peridot or peridot, but I'm wearing like this really cute green heart ring. I don't know
Oh, it's
where I
so
got it
cute.
exactly, but it's really tiny and cute and just.
Oh, it's adorable. What a little cute little reminder. I like it.
It's a heart shape, green stone.
I mean, come on. So cute. I love it. Okay, so and then the next one would be rose quartz, which I actually do have.
Oh,
Sweet little rose quartz.
wait!
Oh, that's a big rose quartz.
It's a really beautiful. It was a gift. Most of my rose quartz have been gifts, which I'm really, really grateful
Oh, that's
for.
nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think I've got my rose quartz, which is this little guy, and as a token, my friend Nicole Ananda, she's amazing. She's a wonderful shaman. She does these incredible circles where she does light language, and she's just so amazing. We'll have to have her on here. We'll have her on here.
We have
Someday.
got to meet Nicole. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she'll be a guest. But one of her cute little things is she gave out a rose quartz to everybody who came with like a little message in a little bag. It was so adorable.
I love being gifted rose quartz.
Yeah, I like
And
that too.
citrine.
And then the
Anybody out there
essential oil.
listening?
Huh?
If anybody out there's listening.
Oh yeah, exactly. Gift me away. Oh, let me give them all the other ones as well, so that
Yes,
when they're
there's
gifting.
plenty.
Because I would love some emerald earrings if anybody wants to give me some of those.
I love emerald. Emerald is my birthstone.
For reals?
Yeah, and it's my favorite color,
That's a
my
good
favorite
one.
stone. Properly enough.
Wow.
I'm really, really excited about that. But I really haven't found the emerald. I think maybe next year I'll gift myself an emerald stone for my birthday or something like that. Be a nice little witchy piece of jewelry.
Awesome. I think I could see you with some really awesome emerald earrings.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
What else do we have besides emerald?
So good. We also have green aventurine.
Oh my god, yes.
I don't have one of those.
Aventurine. It's very similar to jade. A lot of people confuse it with jade. You would just have, it would be a little bit more milky and more translucent.
Okay. Okay.
Very similar.
And then the essential oils that we would use for the heart chakra would be cardamom. Chakra. Our friend Benita, who does the Food Network on Modern Witch Movement. What's her show called? I forget. Food and Chakras.
Food for Chakras.
Food for Chakras.
Food for Chakras.
That is an awesome course as well. So she uses a lot of the oils in her cooking, and she teaches us about the chakras.
She spoke about cardamom as well.
Yeah, must have been why I was thinking of her. Also because she taught us how to say chakra.
Or chakra.
Do you have cardamom, girl?
My passion has cardamom.
Oh, you know how to do it.
Got it in there.
Breathe also has cardamom in it. If somebody, it only has breathe. This one, I think is amazing for the heart chakra because it's also kicking in on your throat chakra at the same time.
Interesting. I have my breathe in my car. I tend to use it when I drive.
Oh, does it help you with anxiety while you're driving?
It helps with my anxiety. It helps with a little bit of road rage sometimes when like I said, when I'm in a hurry and I'm trying to get somewhere and then the universe sends me like 3,000 slow poses to like drive in front of me. I'm like, where's my breathe? Like a big whip when I'm in the car.
Divine timing.
Divine timing. It's all about divine timing. The universe knows what it's doing, and I just need to just go with it. Just go with it.
Yes. And then I'm like, I just chant the words trust. Trust
is important.
So important especially for the heart chakra. Eucalyptus, which is also in breathe, geranium, lime. I could see lime, zesty, and lime is also the zest for life. Which is so nice. My lime is in my
I'm
kitchen
gonna,
because I like to use it to make guacamole.
excuse me while I take a whiff of my eucalyptus.
Ooh. Eucalyptus is the oil of wellness, which is
Mm,
fantastic. Also,
I
we
love
are
that.
talking about essential oils right now, so I just want to give everybody the disclaimer that not all essential oils are created equally, and that it is really important that you're using 100% pure therapeutic grade oils. 90% of the essential oils that are out at the market on the shelves are adulterated or have synthetics added to it. So you really want to make sure you do some research before you decide to buy your oils and know how it's being sourced. I trust doTERRA. I've done a lot of research, and I really, really trust doTERRA right now. It's so important.
Yes, one of
Oh, and the
the
purpose of the heart chakra, it's so important for me to be in alignment with the ethics of the companies that I'm buying from and supporting,
absolutely, like
So,
getting your oils. I believe we had another talk about that on the panel at Witch Camp. I hate to bring it up again, but we did so much work there. I feel, and there's a lot of heart chakra work as well. But they were talking about resourcing your tools as a witch or as a wizard, ethically, and knowing where you source your crystals and your oils as well as your herbs
yes.
from, because you want to create
And
these.
Palo Santo. Palo Santo is
Exactly, and your Palo Santo, when you're creating spells, when you're creating, a certain frequency, you want to use the highest frequency, tools. You want them to be resourced ethically, which means that people are going to be caring of how they're going to leave the land after they take from it. People are going to be caring how they're going to harvest it, and how everything's going to be collected and how it's going to be distributed, and nobody's really getting hurt in the way. So that's what we really mean by ethically. Just like you're receiving it and you're reaping the benefits, but think about all the in between people, and think about all the other people that get to work for you to get this product or any other product or any other tool. You have to be careful and you have to be wise about it.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is if we're going to use the earth as our medicine, we want to have reverence for her and have respect.
Absolutely.
And we only get one earth, just like we only get one body. So we want to treat our bodies and we want to treat the earth with the best. And for
What
me,
better
I spend
karma?
all of my money on natural things for my body. I'll spend all of my money on
I
taking
do
care of my body.
too. And I mean, I wasn't always this caring about my body. And I'm sorry I wasn't there for you so long. And now I am, and I love you, and I'm going to take care of you for the rest of our lives. But before, I wasn't
I
always
love
good
it.
to my body. I recently became very aware, and I know that feeding myself the right foods, and surrounding myself with the right affirmations and the right frequency and the right friends, and everything just really just starts to like happen for me, and I can be of better service to others.
Yes, exactly. I mean, a spoken from the heart again.
It's
This is
all about the
Heart Speech. By It's all about the heart, yo.
heart. It's all about
Serious.
that
I
heart.
mean, oh my goodness. And even just like spreading these muscles out and just doing this exercise, I'm gonna do it right now.
Good.
But like, just like, oh, let my light beam just like come right out of my chest.
Yes.
Oh my
Let's
goodness. And
open up
getting
that
that like
heart
release in
chakra.
my sacrum. So let me just go over these last oils real quick. Marjoram melaleuca is the oil of energetic boundaries,
Ooh,
which
that's
is,
perfect. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, because
I
isn't
love
that one of the
melaleuca.
things? Yeah, it's super cleansing, and I don't think a lot of people reach to it like where they're saying, "Oh, I really want to smell like melaleuca," but I think that I
Well,
can
it's a
smell
little
energetic boundaries.
intense. I know there's some instances where I've actually put it on myself, or I like to put it on my acne sometimes when I get a little bit of acne.
Oh yeah.
And dilute it. And sometimes I've done it. And then there was this one time where I was staying over at my sister's, and she stormed into the bathroom and she goes, "What's that smell?"
Yeah.
Smell all the way outside, and it was intense. And I wasn't even using that much, but it just has a very particular scent to it.
You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened right there with your sister. She goes, "Are you trying to create energetic boundaries?" She's like, "No, you take that shit away. I need you to
Stormed
be
into
all up
the
in my
bathroom.
shit."
Talk about
She smelled
boundaries.
it from the bathroom. Dude, that is so funny.
Talk about boundaries.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she
like
was
to use
really
it as
triggered by it.
deodorant.
I like using it on my armpits as well. I use
Oh,
my non-scented deodorant, so I like to use a little Melaleuca and then put a little bit of my non-scented deodorant on top of that, and it just does it for me.
yeah. My little kid needs me to close my door. I'll be right back.
Do it,
Yes.
do it. If anybody out there is using Melaleuca, just do be careful that cats do not process it as easily as they would. So it's not very beneficial to have around cats. So make sure you maybe don't diffuse it when you have cats around, or if you are going to use it on yourself, make sure you don't touch your cat for a good while, or make sure you wash your hands thoroughly because we love our kitties and we want to keep them around as long as we can and keep them safe and healthy.
It's hard for their livers to process that
That's
oil.
what it is. Thank you. It's hard for the
Yeah,
liver to
yeah,
process.
yeah,
You were
exactly.
the one
They
that
just have
taught
different
me
little
about.
bodies. They have different little
Yeah.
bodies. So also with any oils, I think it's important that we're intuitive and connected to our animals. Everybody and every animal is going to be different. And so when you're getting to know the plant, you want to know if your body's going to be okay with it, and you're going to want to know if your animal's body is going to be okay with it. So
Yeah.
I diffuse. I love to diffuse. I have my
I
little
love
diffuser plug in.
diffuse.
But I need to, if I have an animal in the room, I want to make sure that I have a door that's open in case the smell coming out is irritating them. Because some dogs also have really strong sense of smell, like most dogs, except for my French bulldog, thank goodness. Because I crank those oils hardcore. But you want to make sure that you have a door opening so that your animal, if they need to get fresh air, can leave the space. And be aware that your animal did that so that you know if maybe your animal isn't gonna like those oils. There's a doTERRA vet, and she's awesome. You can refer to her on Facebook if you want to kind of get some ideas on how to actually treat your pet. I know she does like consultations. There's a small fee for her to telling you what oils you can use for your pets.
I love
If
that.
you want to go the natural route, which is always
It's always a good way to go. I have a few friends out there who have cats and who have tea tree oils. So just watch out, ladies.
yes. Disclaimer alert.
You want to keep the kitties around.
So I'm gonna go to the other side of this chakra page.
Yes, I love that other side too. So good.
Okay, so it's clearing and balancing chakras. Chakras can be imbalanced by becoming blocked, underactive, or overly intense, which is overactive. When this happens, our being as a whole is imbalanced, often leading to illness and or emotional blocks and creating an unhealthy environment. The following chart can help you determine the well-being and balance of your chakras. So, the heart chakra, if it is underactive, you can feel shy, fear of getting hurt, feelings of loneliness or being unloved, suspicious, possessive, antisocial, judgmental, fear of relationships. If you are underactive, you can use quartz, rose quartz, or kunzite. I don't know that one. Kunzite.
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 Mhm.
Kunzite.
Got it.
Okay. And then
Rhodochrosite. Yes. I love rhodochrosite. I would bring it to you, but I have it on one of my love grids right now, so I can't bring it out and show it.
She's using her crystals, everyone, for how you're supposed to be using your crystals. So they are unavailable for your eyes.
I can't touch it and bring it out, and it's the only piece I have because they're not cheap and they're very difficult to find.
Dude, I have mad respect. Mad respect.
I love
appreciate that
rhodochrosite.
you. Yes. So then the one that if you find you are feel underactive, then you would use your geranium, which we used, and that will help to balance it. When your chakra is overactive, it's overly empathetic, overly concerned, jealous, poor boundaries, codependency, clinging, tendency to stay in abusive relationships, or overly sacrificing.
Yes.
Oh, and you can have them overactive and underactive at the same time. They can get like
that's correct.
Super wonky. So we want
to
to
whammy.
Yes.
Yes.
And so you could help it with emeralds or malachite.
Yes.
And then you would use melaleuca. If your heart chakra is balanced, You'll feel compassionate, understanding, loving of the self and others, empathetic, inner peace, strong inner, and a strong immune system. So much shit is coming up right now, but I'm going to stop myself from going on a tangent and I'm going to finish this awesome page. Okay. So next up is the physical. Now this, and the reason I can't skip this is, to me, like, this is it's most important to me. Like, it's so important to me because this is the thing that most people that don't study all this wild, crazy shit that we're getting into over here, this is the first indication for them that something is out of balance. And for me, because sometimes it just hits hard in the body. So disorders of the heart, which would be like, high blood pressure or high cholesterol or things like that. The heart disease. The lungs, the thymus, the breast, the arms, the shortness of breath, circulation problems, asthma, immune system deficiency. So, hello, if this isn't a really fucking important chakra to be talking about right now. Hello, knock, knock, ring my bell.
Oh, ring my bell, here, girl. Okay, you know what? I got this bell ready, and I'm like, I have a feeling that bell is going to need to be rung today or tonight at some point.
Thank you, because I have no idea what I did with my witch camp or my bell from witch camp, because I brought it. I was like ringing it throughout the whole entire session.
So good.
And then I must have left it on my patio.
It's probably on your patio.
Wild and crazy times.
Wild and crazy times. Yes.
So we did that portion. Thank goodness we got that out. And now I think, let's see what happens. How did you feel after hearing that little chart? What came up for you in all of the studies you've done?
I mean, everything that you talk about definitely hits a place. I mean, we've all been in a relationship at one point or another, whether it's romantic or not. So if any other one point or another, you've been in a relationship with someone, about the heart chakra, and bless you. When it feels a little imbalanced, when it feels, a little off or a little foggy, or you're just feeling, maybe just a little depressed, or you're just feeling like you need to stay home and you don't want to connect. So all of that definitely came up. I think everyone can identify with it. If you are having a hard time, empathizing with anybody or connecting with people and opening up, then you should definitely start here. And then we have a couple exercises. We have some mudras, we have oils, we have tools that we can use. I would love it if anybody could start with just diffusing some oils at home, oils that open up your heart chakra. If you don't feel like meditating, just pop a little oil diffuser and just see how that changes, the atmosphere in your home, and see how your mind and your thoughts start to change from negative to positive.
I love that you reminded us about the meditating, because meditation is so important.
Absolutely.
So important.
Yeah.
And one thing that happens too is, like, when we get stuck like this, I talk about this a lot, but like when we get stuck like this, you see this? Do you see this body movement right here? I literally am closing off my heart.
And it like creates pain back here, which also, it closes up your heart chakra. Your heart chakra has two sides, the front and the back. So like you said, if you are doing that, you're creating tension in both ends. You're closing up your heart chakra.
Yes. Yeah, we gotta open these heart chakras up, everybody. Open up your heart chakras.
I was in a car accident last year, but after that, I ended up having a few sessions with my lovely friend Barry. Shout out to Barry if you're watching.
Oh, I love Barry.
We love Barry, and he's an amazing healer, and he's so in tune with his heart chakra, and he has such healing hands, and he's able to use it in such a beautiful manner. He was working with me. He gave me a couple of exercises, and some of these exercises involved me actually kind of opening up that heart chakra, and it just felt so amazing. There were so many emotions that I was working through, and it's really interesting because the heart chakra is connected to our hands, and anybody who is a healer is very connected to their heart chakra, which is really the emotion that we connect to when we're doing Reiki, or when we want to heal our children, or we want to like make something better. It really comes from the heart, but it's connected with our hands. So a lot of healing has come through some people that I know are really, really connected with their heart chakra, Barry being one of them.
Can you
I
give
would
us a couple of what those exercises are? Can you
Well,
show us
you
or give
spoke
us an
about one
example?
where you kind of interlaced your hands behind your, and you basically just opened up your chest all the way up, and then you brought your chin to not too low or not too high, just forward, and then you start to rise your arms up. So lift your arms up as high as you can, and you start to feel just when you start to deep breaths, and we hold it. Yes. And that
Oh, the
is
breathing into
so
it feels
much.
so good. Yeah, that's
Not only
great.
to my heart chakra, it does like I almost feel like I massage my own shoulders when I do that because I'm adding
Yeah.
that little tight squeeze to it. Whenever I'm having a little bit of heart opening problems, I start to develop it on my shoulders and my shoulder blades as well. And so that just really just thank you, Barry. Thank you.
Oh, love you, Barry. Shout out.
Woo!
Love it.
Our dog. He's such a healer.
Oh.
He's such a healer. Yeah. And I was going through some of these meditations and I was going through some of these yoga poses. A lot of these yoga poses really do involve us just kind of lifting up that area that really just opens up the heart chakra and lets his energy come in and lets the energy come out. Because sometimes energy does have to come out. Emotions do have to come out.
Yeah, and you spoke about anger earlier. And I feel like I have some trapped anger. Like I went and did some witch camp. It was amazing and beautiful. I felt so wonderful. And it literally it was almost like too much love because my old programming isn't used to that much support, I feel like.
Yes.
And so it was it went out, and attracted something that I maybe saw on social media. I think that must have been what happened. And all of a sudden, within an instant, my heart is like crumbling, feels broken. I feel just something in your water.
There is something in my water.
I saw it.
Just murky stuff. Like I don't even know what it is. I was like, which plant is going to be the one that gets it right now? I'm looking at the plant. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get a little bit of water right now? I don't want to be wasteful, but I just noticed it. The light hit it, and I was like, I have little friends in there. Got a little protein today. Don't mind. I don't mind.
I appreciate that you did that because it reminds me of what I think is the most important thing, and I want to be able to talk about it as much as possible. And one of the things that I'm really working on is the here and the now moment, which is all in the heart. All about the heart. If we're like doing all this heart work, which is what everybody's talking about with the new earth and raising the vibration and keeping those like really high vibrational light codes rippling for this peaceful human place that we're going to get to exist on. And it's really important that we keep our hearts open and be in this moment right here because this is the only moment that exists right now. And if we can make this moment this fucking amazing, then we can make that moment fucking amazing.
Yes. It's the center. It's the fucking center. It really is where the heavens and the earth meet. It's so important. I feel like, I mean, what other organ do we sing songs about? Do we write poems about any other organ that you can think of? Nobody sings I left my liver in San Francisco. Right? It's all about the heart, baby. It's all about the heart.
Like Billy Joel. I feel like Billy Joel could say that he left his liver in New York.
I mean, nobody says like open up your pancreas and let the sun shine in. You know what I mean? It's all about the heart, baby. We sing about it, we write about it, we draw it everywhere. We're obsessed with the heart. It's all about the heart. It's really what connects us with each other, what connects us to source, and what connects us to who we were, who we are, and who we will be.
I'm gonna give myself a little divine love spray with that. Anchor that shit in with some divine love roses. Oh my God.
Hit it, sister.
Rose is the highest vibrational frequency. So talking about everything we're talking about, right? You can see that we're really into it. And we want to like raise a vibrational frequency. We want to teach other people how to raise a vibrational frequency. I'll tell you girls, I'm not gonna say I got this shit down all the time because I was fucking in the grass today, laying out, trying to get charged up because I felt so depleted, and I'm like, wait, I want to start honoring my moon cycle and not working and not doing anything, and it was so hard to be inactive. And especially when the fucking unicorns told me that I have to do action, I was like, what, unicorns? I just want to rest. I just started my moon. Must have been a man who created
what
this
action?
Yes. So I am really excited to anchor in and raise my vibrational frequency when I'm at a low vibration with nature, because nature vibrates at a higher frequency than us. Nature doesn't operate the same as we do. It's pure and perfect and loving and forgiving, and unconditional love comes from nature. And if we can borrow that same vibrational frequency from the nature and work with the plants, then we can rebuild this whole earth with reverence for her existence. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how to get there, but I know doTERRA is starting with a seed in the indigenous regions that these plants have naturally been growing for thousands of years. So this rose is really special, and rose is the highest vibrational frequency, and it's the oil of divine love.
Yes, it is. I love rose oil. It's one of my absolute favorites. I mean, I love ylang and I love bergamot, but rose is up there with one of my absolute favorites.
I'm going to make you and Molly a rose spray.
I'm obsessed with rose oil.
Every time you smell it, I want you to think of divine love. But you have to share it. It's going to go in the community space right there where you're at, that table.
Community oil? We'll do that.
I'm so excited. Yes.
So what
rose is super special.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. Ah, the heart chakra. It's all about giving and the secrets of giving and being generous and giving generously from the heart, because that is
like
the only way. Really, that sounds like abundance. That's the only way we will ever become abundant in life. Is we start giving from the heart.
Wild orange.
Wild orange.
Gonna get me some abundance right now.
One who sows generally shall also reap generously.
I recently just somebody came and delivered some stuff to my house, which has been so wonderful. I'm so fucking grateful for that privilege in this time of quarantine to be able to have wonderful people out there delivering. I'm so grateful. And before I gave them the cash money, I sprinkled it with wild orange, and I just thought of abundance, and it felt like a ripple effect of, with the intention of abundance, because that's what being a witch is all about, intention.
It's all about intention. That's right, sister. Well, that's like super karmic for you. You just gave money with your heart. It's gonna come back tenfold, my witch.
I love that no matter what I say, you always bring it back to the chakra that we're talking about. It's fucking amazing. It's like brilliant.
It's one of my favorite chakras because, like I said, we just speak about it so much. It's, and when someone, breaks our heart or when someone hurts our heart, then, we have tons of work to do, and it could be detrimental. And if we start at a very young age and when our heart chakra starts to get unbalanced at a very young age, then we have that much more work to do. And we can't sit here and blame it on, so-and-so, and I was raped this way, and so-and-so did this to me, and this happened to me. We really just have to come back from a place where we're like, well, what are you going to do about that? How are you going to turn that negative instant into like the most fucking positive thing that ever happened to you, the thing that propelled you into, connecting with source and your true purpose in life?
Oh man, that was a great DJ set, Yvette. I love that. Wicca. It's all about forgiveness. Gonna get some forgiveness. So the thing is, it is all about forgiveness, because there is no growth in being a victim. There's no growth in blame and shame. There's no growth. You're still stuck in the muck. If you're in those spaces, it's okay. We have to allow all the processes to take place.
It's okay.
But ultimately, ideally, the intention going forward would be to forgive.
Yes.
So forgive, the doTERRA forgive has a lot of tree oils in it, and it's also working with ancestry. So like if your ancestors also had heart problems, You might want to know why, and then be able to give forgiveness to what they might be holding on to, because we picked up the energetic vibration from them. And so we also need to forgive them, and so that we can forgive ourselves, because we carry some of their energy, especially if you find that you have the same genetic thing that your family member does. That's one of the things that you need to unlock in your healing process. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that for right now while I smell this.
Amen to that, sister. Amen to that. I mean, in love and kindness and compassion, humans have no limit. We have no limits. If we live in a place where just like we come from compassion and kindness, and we treat others. I mean, honestly, it's so crazy. I hate to bring him up, but Jesus Christ was such a badass. He was all about the chakra. He really was all about the heart chakra and the heart work. And he really just talked about, what was that thing he used to say? It's in the Bible. Do unto others that you would like them to do unto you, or love your neighbor as you would love yourself. I mean, he really isn't talking about, he's going beyond that. He's going way, way deeper than that. He's saying, like, treat your neighbor with compassion. Treat your neighbor with kindness, treat your neighbor with love, and see that unfold 100 times back to you.
Yes.
So there is no prosperity, there is no abundance, there is no love unless you begin to give that yourself. You really have to open it up, and yeah.
That's legit. That is really legit. So what I've noticed when I try to use this forgive and I'm not quite ready, like I didn't maybe go through some of the processes that you need to get through forgiveness. It's like very similar to the death process, where you have to mourn and go through all the different stages. Getting to forgiveness, it's a lot of stages. And if you try to just skip straight to forgiveness without processing your emotions, oftentimes you'll find that you could get really angry.
Yeah.
And then you'll get all the first and second chakra imbalances going crazy. So, we'll treat all of the different things with the intention to forgive, but sometimes I just need to, ease into some forgiveness with some peace.
Yes.
Peace.
I love that.
Some peace. So we've been talking for like an hour now. I feel like we have a wonderful, beautiful guest. I was wondering if you think it should be time to bring her on, or is there a few things that you have a burning desire to talk about before we bring her on?
No, we have been talking for an hour. Jesus Lord, let's bring her on.
Oh, speaking of Jesus Lord, I just want to tap into that real fast. I guess I have something to say before we bring on our beautiful guest, because I'm so happy you talked about Jesus, because Jesus is my homeboy. I love him so much. He was like one of my first introductions to spirituality. It doesn't mean that I dedicate everything, and I've got a lot of different things happening, but
he knew what the fuck was going on,
dude. And like his whole symbol is forgiveness. Isn't the whole point of Easter is so that we can give forgiveness, and that's the day that he came and rose up from the dead, and it's all about the symbolism. Like, I don't know what really happened, I wasn't there, but the symbolism of all of it is so fucking beautiful. And it reminds me of frankincense. So the only way to really get to forgiveness is through truth. So we really are trying to decode that truth, our truth, whatever our truth is, right? And once we come up with our truth, then we can have acceptance, and we have awareness, and then we can start healing. I think for me, that's how it works.
So I didn't mean to go on a tangent here, but it wasn't frankincense one of the incense that was offered by the three Kingsmen when he was born?
Yeah, baby Jesus got the gift that the wise men gave to baby Jesus.
That shit was working right from birth.
And I think it was wise women, because let's be honest.
Wise women riding in the desert.
So the wise women, I'm going to change the whole story, like they did in Telephone, and probably how they did when they rewrote the Bible like 6 times in 500 different languages.
It's been so long. Who knows? They were probably women.
Yeah, so the 3 wise women brought baby Jesus frankincense and myrrh and gold. And everybody was but they also used it in the Egyptian times when they buried the people in the tombs. They would bury them with the frankincense and the myrrh and the gold, and people would steal the frankincense and myrrh and leave the gold. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And they're like, what good is it doing that dead guy?
Okay!
I'm not mad at them. Okay, so shall we bring on our beautiful guest?
Let's bring her. I can't wait to see her face, and I can't wait to talk to our lovely
Can our
Nikki.
lovely Molly assistant bring her in?
She is.
Thank you, Molly. Wow!
Hello. I'm so happy to see you all.
Hi, gorgeous. It's good to see your face again. Gosh, this is such a treat. Such a treat.
Nikki Castle.
Hi.
We are so excited to see you and share you with the community that doesn't already know you, and everybody who already knows you must be like beaming right now because you just set our hearts wide open with your vulnerability and your honesty and your willingness to be growing and evolving, and I just appreciate you so much.
I'm so happy to be here. And I love that you were talking about Jesus. He and Mary Magdalene are two of my like closest and longest time guides. And oh man, listening to you all talk about the oils and things like that earlier, I loved hearing about the rose and frankincense, and it reminded me, Jenny, of when I first met you and you were asking me what kinds of essential oils I like the best. And I said, I love rose and frankincense. And you were like, girl, you got expensive taste.
I'm sorry, I believe I said that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I am so excited to be here for the Heart Chakra. It's like absolutely my home. Expensive taste in essential oils to prove it. And it's great to be here.
Yes, it's good to have you, babe. It's good to have you here.
Strawberries on here.
Oh, I like it. Represent with the strawberry heart.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite heart song? A song that has a heart song music in it? A heart tune?
I don't know. I mean, I probably have like 20.
Okay, first one that pops in your head.
I don't know, man. I'm drawing a blank. They're all so great.
I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The one that came to mind for me was "Listen to Your Heart."
Oh
It's
gosh.
calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do.
Ooh, you know which one I got too? Don't break my heart. My achy, breaky heart. Da, 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 da. That's all I know.
It's good.
like
There's so many.
Total opposites of the spectrum, but yeah, we could
Yeah.
all day long for sure.
I mean, he's singing about heartbreak, but the song's got a good beat, you know? I want to dance to it. It's about heartbreak.
That's the thing. That's the tricky thing about music is when it has a good beat.
I feel like he understands that even if you get your heart broken, it's really not the end of the world, because feeling that like depth of emotion on either side of the spectrum is just such a heart-opening experience, and that's really where the growth is. And I think that dude was super wise. He's just trying to be jazzy about it.
Yeah, agreed. Preach on, sister.
That's right.
Is there anything that we were talking about, Nikki? Is there anything that we were talking about that you felt like, oh, I need help in this direction?
Oh my God. Yeah. So I just was thinking about how when y'all were talking about how imbalances in the heart chakra show up in the body, and for me personally, I just have very intense heart chakra experiences on the like too open and the not open enough and the balanced side, rolling all three constantly. I'm super heart forward, but like life's complex, so it's always kind of something different. And I also have like my back and my shoulders are just like super tense all the time. It's been something that I've dealt with my whole life, sitting with emotional boundaries. And I was just thinking while y'all were talking that I just envisioned the muscles in my back tensing up in an effort to kind of rein me in heart-wise, because I'm so like, here, have it all. Have all my feelings. I want all of your feelings, and I want all your feelings, and yours, and yours, and yours. And I think there's like a little thing in my back that's just like, bring it back in.
Yes.
So that Melaleuca is going to help me out for sure.
Oh,
and with the shoulders, anything that's happening with the shoulders. So in my hypnotherapy school, I took a course called Body Syndromes, and I'm really into the body, mind, emotional connection. It's one of my favorite jams. And the shoulders is about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. So the thing is when you're opening yourself up to all of these people without the boundaries, there's that part of you that's the nurturer, the giver, the empath that wants to try and fix it and wants to try and help them and wants to try and troubleshoot and problem solve and things like that. But what's really most important is that you got to check in with your own vessel first before you can be of service to other vessels. It's just like the whole using the mask before you go on the airplane before you give it to the kid, because you're
Right.
no service if you can't breathe. And so the fact that your shoulders are going to be a great indication. So that would be one thing that I would love to work on for you, is like really releasing those shoulders and feeling where and who is coming in the shoulders. And like you can visualize those people as rocks and like chucking them into the ocean. Like it's not your problem. It's not, and a lot of things. I mean, obviously, you're such a great community leader, and I appreciate what you do so much in the community, but I also get concerned for people that I see in my community to overextend themselves, because you're going to be no good to us if you're hurt. You know what I mean? And so like we need to make sure that you are also in alignment. And it's like I'm preparing for the zombie apocalypse. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right. We are preparing for a zombie apocalypse. It will happen at one point.
Yeah,
I got my tool bag.
You got your tool bag, and we got our seatbelts on.
I'm spinning over here with some geranium.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll take it all. Yeah, all of that really resonates very deeply with me. And I also appreciated how we were talking about unconscious programming, because I just have some deep unconscious programming around just like a very self-sacrificing brand of nurturing energy. And I think that I've done some pretty good work in this realm, but it's just not something that disappears overnight. I've noticed that like a good baby step for me along the way to learning how to like genuinely care for myself, for myself as the primary beneficiary, is through a vulnerability practice. Because even if I personally still struggle with taking care of me, if I can take that step along the way of asking for what I need from others instead of only prioritizing their needs, that's really been amazing for me. I think one of the most blissful feelings that I've been exploring over the past couple of years is what it feels like to be truly seen and held. And I remember also you were talking about how there's no growth in the blame and shame, but there's also a lot of joy in kind of digging into it, taking the risk of sharing something with someone you trust that you feel shame around. And usually, you know, if that person really loves you and you're choosing wisely, that shame dissolves the moment that you're willing to take the risk and open your heart and be vulnerable with that person. And it's been such a beautiful practice for me that I really love sharing with other people too.
Yes. I love that.
That is so beautiful. Spoken from the heart, like you
Right
say.
Did you see it coming out of there?
Oh, it's so beautiful. I love that. I love everything you're saying.
You know, truer words have never been spoken. I mean, we really have to learn how to give to others. I mean, there's so much reward in that. There's so much more reward in just the. I feel like now we're in the heart chakra, we're moving from the me more onto the we. We become more of a we, and that's what really connects us to source, and what's really connecting us to others. I feel like that's the only way we're really going to get through this whole madness that's happening in the world, if we're all just start to do the work on the heart chakra, because that's really where it's at.
I love that. I love that.
Nikki, everything you're saying is like so in alignment with that.
Yeah, I think so. And I really love the idea of the heart chakra as a bridge, both between like the human and the spiritual chakras, but also between, just like you were saying, between the me and the we. And also I think between giving and receiving. I was just so touched when I was speaking about vulnerability from a perspective of how it benefits me to be vulnerable with others and to feel seen. And your interpretation was immediately about how it's important to give. And it's true, vulnerability is such a gift that we get so much out of at the same time. So I think it's just so perfect that it lives in that bridge space. It's even hard to define what the heart chakra really bridges, because there's so many different ways to interpret that metaphor, and I really spending time meditating on that. It's just like endless crop of just like beautiful touching insights from
absolutely. And I feel like one of the places where I learned to become vulnerable as a woman was to I realized that it put me in a place of vulnerability, but it also gave me so much more, and it gave the person that I was giving it to so much more. Is giving someone a compliment from the heart. It's so much. It's it puts me in a vulnerable state, like especially when I praise a woman and I just like stop and say, "Oh my God, you look amazing today. Like you're glowing this outfit," and the reaction in them, and also, I feel like at the same time I'm feeding off of that energy that I'm watching them create from their heart, and it puts me in a vulnerable space. Like they could easily reject me, like, what? Like I've had a reaction where people are like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. No, I don't look good. But then after saying it many times, after I've worked, with a person many times, and, I do this to people at work sometimes, after working with them, and they start to feel that my compliments are coming from the heart, and I'm putting myself in a vulnerable position where they can say anything they want to say to me. It also allows me to receive whatever they're willing to give to me, and I can also take it. And since my heart is in the right place, I won't take it personally. I won't be offended. I just know that I'm doing the work with them as well. So it just feels really good. It puts me in a vulnerable space, but it also gives me so much more.
I like that practice. Can I try right now?
Oh,
yes.
Cool. Okay. So, Yvette, when we were starting this live up, you two earlier on, my friend Sabrina, who's with me today, said that, oh my gosh, she looks so beautiful. She looks like Cleopatra. Is that her real hair? It's so shiny. And I think the only thing more iconic than that look that you two share is the depth of your thoughtfulness and your capacity to care for others.
Thank you, my dear.
It helps that you're a brilliant poet. I mean, are you kidding me?
I knew it was gonna get good. I know the Heart Chakra was gonna be a good one. We talked about it at Witch Camp and how important it is to be vulnerable, because that's really how we're all going to begin the work. The moment we start to see ourselves in others as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear.
Are teaching me so much. I love doing this, and I learn whenever I hang out with you girls, even if it's just virtually. I learn so much on I've never been somebody who came from a community. I grew up with I won't get into it too much right now, but it was with a warrior. I grew up, my dad's a warrior, and so it's like I grew up with that mentality, like if you get too close to people, they're gonna die or you could die. And so just that's working through that first and second chakra that I'm really trying to work through. And it's really important to open up the heart in order to heal. And I've really set out, like doTERRA is the thing that's helped me like even manifest a community of and I'm still learning, because I don't really know very much how to ask for things. I'm so grateful for this platform and all that Molly does to make this stuff happen.
Yay, Molly!
And it's my first like opportunity to really like feel supported and really be supported and allow myself to get that support. But I'm just learning, and have been just learning since I've started with the oils, helps me to shift all of those different things that I'm working through generationally. And I'm noticing that I'm doing the work. I have been doing the work. Look at where I am now as compared to maybe where I was 5-6 years ago. And even though there's that patience game too. It's like, I want it now. I want my community now.
Temperance. Temperance.
And it's just been so beautiful how it's organically just opened up, and I feel so loved and so supported and so seen with you guys. And I love it so much. I want to share it with everybody, which is why we're doing this show.
I love you, and I love the fact that you introduced me to really high frequency oils, because I definitely have been working with my emotions, and it really is all about the emotions here in the heart. There's so many things that we can convey, and there's so much that we can receive through other people's emotions. So I feel like it's really important to also be careful with emotional abuse, and I don't mean just coming from other people, but the own emotional abuse that sometimes we give ourselves. Emotional abuse can be wounding to the seed of love. And so it's very important to be very aware of your thoughts, or to start to become very aware of your thoughts and where they're coming from, and whether they feel good or not. whether they're directed towards yourself or other people, because we really are directing negative thoughts and emotions to other people. In reality, the universe is one big mirror that we're just going to reflect all that right back onto us, and we don't want that. We want to just, and we're human. We're going to be thinking, we're going to be feeling. There's so many things around us that throw us out of alignment. But our work is just to, okay, how does this make me feel? How does that benefit anybody outside of me, even if I'm not saying it out loud, even if I'm just feeling it?
Yes. Oh.
I have been really loving catching myself in negative self-talk lately. It's so fun. It feels like the thoughts maybe like half formed or a little bit more, and I'm starting to kind of like sink into the feeling of like, this sucks, your fault. And it's like, hang on, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't believe that. Your friends don't believe that. Your partner doesn't believe that. Put it away. Go
Yes.
Put it away. Put it away.
I love that. Put it away. Put it away. Yes.
That's a really good practice. Put it away.
Yeah.
It's not nice. A lot of times if I catch my friends saying, "Oh, I'm an idiot," or "I'm so stupid," or "I can't believe it," I'll be like, "Don't talk about my friend like that." You know what I mean?
Yes, that's right. I love that. I'm gonna borrow that.
Yeah, do it, because it's not cool. It's not cool when you hear your friends talking shit about themselves, because you love them.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah.
And we love ourselves, but sometimes we throw something, we're doing our makeup or we're doing dishes, and something comes like, it's so clumsy, I'm so dumb. It's so easy. It's so easy, but words are so powerful and emotions are super powerful as well. So beginning to become aware of that.
I think it never feels like often. I don't know about never. Sometimes it does feel like as big of a deal as it is, but so often it's just such like an offhand, like, like a really common brand of humor, but it's really easy to underestimate the power of words, and that we're always casting spells and, manifesting that kind of negative self-belief is never going to get us anywhere.
Exactly. Right.
The thing is a lot of times we don't even know that programming is happening. It's just that automatic subconscious programming that got implanted from 0 to 8 years old. And so that's why it's so powerful to be able to work together. And like that's the kind of friendships I want to have or continue to develop, are the ones where everything we say is for the greater good of each other. Like, I'm telling this because I love you, not because I'm judging you. And like, if you feel judged, that's about because I'm coming from a loving place. It's coming from my heart intention. And even if I'm wrong, then it's up for discussion. And if you got triggered, why did you get triggered from me bringing that thing up? And being able to kind of work through what's happening with us so that we can grow, because it's our best thinking that got us into these situations to begin with. So it's really nice to have community and friends that we can share with and express what's happening.
It's very important. I love that what you said right there. It's really by understanding others, we're going to begin to understand ourselves. So holding space for someone and saying, well, like you said, something triggered you. So, let's look into that. Let's not sit here and judge you because, you felt a certain way or you reacted a certain way. How did that trigger you? I'm here for you. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to come from a place of judgment. It makes people open up a lot easier to you and say, well, I felt like so-and-so, or, this rubbed me the wrong way. Or maybe they just start thinking about it and think, it didn't have anything to do with you. I was just having a bad morning. I was just having a bad day. Woke up on the wrong side of bed.
Yes. I completely agree. I feel like loving accountability is the most underrated kind of support that you can get from friends, but it is so easy to, like, we all grew up not learning how to do that and not knowing how to do it skillfully, and communication in that way is a skill that requires a lot of practice. There's a resource that I really appreciate for that, and it's a book, and more than just a book, called Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg, and it's amazing. I I've like listened to this book through once, and every time I'm listening to it or reading it or like watching a video of his on YouTube, I'm just feeling like I need to engage with this like 5 million times over the course of my life. Like I want all of these methods and things to keep in mind just like baked really deeply into the ways that I relate to other people, because it's so hard after you learn a new resource for communication to then like in a moment of like a really challenging conversation with a person or a triggering conversation with another person to be like, what would Marshall Rosenberg do? And then like remember all of the things. It's kind of hard, but it just goes so deeply into different ways of communicating how you're feeling or of listening better. I really feel like every time I'm engaging with his material, it's like, oh no, I don't know the first thing about compassionately listening to other people. And I also at the same time have this perception of myself as a person who's just like self-sacrificing to no end in my desire to do great things for other people, and like sitting with those two things being true-ish or whatever capacity at the same time is just kind of mind-boggling. Like, all right, like, you know, taking a step back and developing my skills more is always going to be a good way to both preserve myself better and be a little bit more effective when I am making an effort to connect with another person on something like truly heavy.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that book. I've watched a couple YouTube videos of his, and what's happening in my head right now is maybe this isn't proper listening, because I'm like, oh my gosh, if we had our own little community village, Nikki could be the teacher that teaches all of our children how to non-violently communicate.
Non-violent.
I heard everything you were saying.
But I appreciate that. I mean, I think it's like at the same time that it's important to actively listen and not listen to respond, like feeling like an internal response coming up to something someone is saying is so human, and like we shouldn't shame ourselves for that at all. And you know, I think the best thing to do about that is what you just did, is be like, oh yeah, I really loved what you were saying so much, and I got so excited that all of these things started happening. It's like okay to ask for a pause or ask someone to repeat themselves, or just be like, you know, whatever, I'm sure the rest of what you said was totally fine and I probably agree with it. Like my thoughts were just more interesting to me at that time, and you know, we'll get back to it later or not. It's all okay. It's all totally fine.
That's hilarious. I do think but I'm really skilled at listening to two things at once, my head and somebody else's, so I'm pretty sure that I got the whole through thought. But what I think is so important is in what you're saying is that our kids are learning this, you know, and I have a kid, so it's on my mind. And I just think you're such a brilliant teacher, so I'm grateful for the way that you
really agree. I think you're an amazing teacher as well. I mean, I've learned from you. The few times we've had the opportunity to share space, we've exchanged so much wisdom and so much energy.
Thank you. I do love to teach, but like teacher is a role that I'm only just beginning to see in myself. But I mean, yeah, accepting that learning and teaching happen at the same time has been really helpful.
Absolutely. And giving there is receiving.
Yes. Wow, it was a good full circle there.
I love Heart Chakra.
It's all Heart Chakra.
This is where I live most of the time, in my heart.
Me too, girl.
Yeah.
I third that.
This is where I live most of my time. And it's been quite a fun place.
Yeah, it's
I want to get more marinating in my heart more often.
Let's do it.
Do really well.
Okay, so do you want to go over, like, you know, we talked about, you know, oils, and we talked about the mantra, we talked about and also yum is a good one for your heart chakra. So yum. Almost like yum, but with an A on it.
Yum. My mom says yum.
And you start to feel it resonating in your heart once you say it enough times, that there's a mudra that I really like. It's called the Hidayah mudra, and it's supposed to help. It's supposed to release, build up emotions. It's supposed to help with anything weighing your heart down. It also rejuvenates the heart, and it helps release anxiety, and it helps keep the heart opened and uplifted. So you're gonna go ahead and you take your index finger, your middle finger, and your ring finger. And all three of these are going to be connected to your thumb, pinky sticking out. And so these are going to go palm side up on your knees, cross-legged. And you're going to do breathing technique where you're going to breathe in through your nose, hold for 1 second, and then release again through your nose. Now, if you can do this while you're driving, while you're sitting in traffic, while you're waiting for something and your hands are not busy, this is a great one to relieve anxiety and open up your heart chakra. And I advise you do it for at least 3 minutes. You don't have to, but that's where the work begins. If you can manage to do this for 3 minutes, you start to really regenerate all the cells in your body and heart chakra starts to open up. It's a good one.
I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Yes. You know what's another really good one? And Miss Jenny B, the other Jenny B, did this in her class, and it was called the Padma Lotus Mudra. And it was the one where we had our pinkies and our thumbs in the pose of a lotus. And she had us basically, she was asking us to put it down here, but if you could bring it up higher, and do this for at least 3 minutes. Same breathing exercise for 7 or 3 minutes. This is huge for opening up your heart chakra. It just really keeps it really open. It grounds you and it uplifts you. And it's going to hurt a little bit in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. But then you're really going to start to feel like muscles here in this area for some reason. It's in your arms too. Your arms are connected to your heart, obviously. But there's just like something to do with the circulation that just really starts to open up this area here. And I felt it this weekend because my shoulders weren't as tense after that. I really held it up. I was like, I'm going to tough it up. I'm going to hold them up for as long as I can. And I was like sweating and I was taking my deep breaths and I was really holding it. But the minute I came down, I felt so much better and I slept so good this weekend. This is a good workout besides just being a really good mudra for your heart chakra. It's a great workout.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love all the surprising ways that heart openers make you really breathe heavily, like back bends too. It's just like, whoa, it's really, really good.
Yoga is very mind blowing. I feel like you're working from the inside out, which is why you're sweating profusely so hard. I have friends that I didn't know they can sweat that much with one yoga session. I'm like, oh my god, I've never sweat this much when I go to the gym. But you're working from the inside out. You're challenging your body and your muscles in such a diverse way that I feel like it's another tool, another really important tool that people don't think about using.
I can't live without yoga. It's like
I can't either. It is my daily bread.
Yeah. There's some more of that Catholic talk.
Speaking of bread, do we know that any foods that are good to balance and heart chakra? I mean, I can imagine anything green, right?
Yeah, limes, cilantro. We always talk about those guys. Maybe I don't know if there is one in this. I don't think it talks about food in here.
Well, if I can think of anything leafy, veggies, maybe spirulina, matcha.
Maybe. Yes.
I can think of matcha. I think matcha would be really good. You know what else I think is good for your heart?
Chocolate always feels good for my heart.
Chocolate? Yeah.
Anything that makes your heart, anything that gives your heart joy is good for your heart, I guess. But dark chocolate is really good for your heart. The darker, the better.
Oh, I got some downstairs. I've been getting the little these Rebel chocolate drinks, reishi chocolate with mushroom reishi in it. Yeah, it's so delicious. And I've been putting a little drop of turmeric in it, which is supposed to help with all the anti-racism and oppression and all the stuff we're trying to outgrow. and it's really beautiful. The turmeric actually feels, it's the oil of restoration, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the heart, but it literally told me to talk about it.
If it helps you restore your heart.
You guys, it smells like a punch in the face. It's
Hi,
horrible.
turmeric. You can have some
I've
attention.
seen people's reaction when they smell that one. It's not fun, but it's really interesting.
But then it grows on me, because once I learn
Yeah.
what it does to me, then I'm like, okay, I love you, thank you. You're a good root. You're a good root.
You're
Get in
good
my
to
body.
me. You're good to me.
Um,
I can feel it. It's like a little tough love.
It is. Do you guys want me to read from this little book?
Yes.
So this is the Emotions and Essential Oil book. It's my favorite, and
I love
it's so incredible for being able to tune into our emotions, and then having a tool to help set a new intention to reprogram that subconscious programming that is totally blocking us from growing. It actually, being able to smell something, stops that pathway, that pattern, that little groove that your subconscious mind gets stuck in, stops it with the smell, and then you can start a new pathway on how you, which direction you want to move into. So I like to learn a little bit about the emotional side, and I do something called oracle oils that I know I've talked about with you all a lot, but where I just call on the angels and the guides to give me an oil, a message through the oils. And then oftentimes I'll look up what the message was, and every time it's like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And even if I don't necessarily like the smell, I still take the message, because I know that it's like my highest self.
It's still what you need.
Self. Yeah, and so one day I pulled this turmeric, and it literally, I think, was 2 days into the riots and the things going on, and I was just like overwhelmed with so much emotion about everything that was going on in the world, and like just that uncovering all that darkness and the shame and then having like all this information that was a lot. It hit really hard, and not necessarily knowing my part in it and what I could do about it, and really being, I mean, I felt a lot of people coming out saying, if you silence is like saying it's okay or something like that. There were all kinds of things like that, but I know everybody processes differently, and I really wanted to honor my process and be able to have some time to be in discernment, so that I could speak from my heart and not just react from my emotion. And when I did the oracle oils, I pulled the turmeric, and it was about restoration. And turmeric repairs individuals physically, mentally, and emotionally. I'm gonna smell it when I talk about it. It has powerful properties that reach into damaged or blocked aspects of the self to restore what has been temporarily lost, like maybe the heart. Turmeric is a powerful antidote for those who feel paralyzed by the inherent danger of life, or by loss or function of freedom, by one that was.
By the coronavirus.
Oh, sorry, my son came into the room, and he said, "Or by the coronavirus." And that is a 5-year-old's existence now. I have to cling to my oils tight because it makes me sad. Okay, back to this. Turmeric is a powerful antidote for those who feel paralyzed by the inherent danger of life, or by the loss of function or freedom they once took for granted.
Wow.
Which is when my kid said, or the coronavirus. It is particularly beneficial when one feels weighed down due to personal tragedies or loss, or of confidence in their abilities. Turmeric offers strength and hope to ground individuals during times of upheaval or significant change.
Wow.
Turmeric, and you can also use turmeric roots. Like, you guys can go to the store tomorrow and buy some turmeric root and like.
Change? Do you mean like?
Scout, I'm doing a show. I don't have time. Can you go back to your bedroom if you're going to talk? I love you so much, but I'm in the middle of a show. And they can't see you. Just close your eyes. Put a shirt over your eyes. It's super bright in here, you guys. What am I supposed to do? I've become accustomed to falling asleep in my bedroom. Okay.
You're coming from your heart chakra. I love it.
Thank you. Okay, turmeric can also restore one's faith in goodness.
Oh.
It reminds, thank you, I'm going to take another sniff of faith in goodness. It reminds that For good or bad, each person occupies a unique role in the unfolding destiny of the world. In a season where atrocities are committed and heartless events unfold without meaning or seeming consequence, exposure to the misdeeds of others can cause one's faith in humankind to grow cold. This shit is so deep, you guys.
So fucking deep.
I'm gonna have to put 50 cents in a jar. We just started that. Okay. Turmeric restores.
Actually, you said that twice.
Okay, but no more talking. You can keep score of how many times I say bad words, and I'll pay you tomorrow. Okay. Okay.
I love it. I love doing this.
Turmeric restores belief that most individuals choose to act as agents for good, despite the associated risk. The strong warmth of turmeric provides stability for the waving heart and foundation of trust that people are capable of good and progress is always possible. It's not done, but this is so good I can't even. Please give me a second.
Oh, the world needs more turmeric.
Oh my goodness. Can we just like put a bunch of turmeric in spray bottles and go spray it on everything?
So crop
It's also
dusting with turmeric.
anti-inflammatory.
I have so much turmeric root at home right now because I've been brewing kombucha potions lately and just putting all the turmeric in every single one and ginger and whatever fruit I have.
I put turmeric in pretty much everything I cook
Me too.
because it's so good for you.
And it's so
I like
cute.
to put it.
And it's so pretty.
I love a root. It's deep down, so it's helping with the root chakra.
I love me a good root.
Lord knows we all need
All the
that.
stuff that. What was that? What'd you
We
say?
all need
You
that.
missed it. Yeah, we all do. That's true. Okay, so the last paragraph goes like this. Turmeric also assists those who struggle against systemic barriers such as prejudice, bias, and racism by helping individuals recognize discordant or damaging messages and distinguishes them from the truth. We should actually bundle people buying white fragility with turmeric. Because when you,
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you guys ever heard about the book,
Reading it.
but it's really good.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Scout, I will put oils on you later, okay? He wants to talk to me about oils because he's like, maybe my mom will give me attention if I talk to her about oils.
We'll talk about oils.
It's time for bed!
It's coming from the heart. It's coming from the heart.
Oh gosh. Okay. Still one more sentence.
Oof.
Turmeric imbues the soul with courage and lends the strength to turn what seems like unconquerable obstacles into navigatable paths.
Love that.
Can I get an
Beautiful.
amen?
Amen.
Oh, your oil oracles really know what's up.
Yes.
That shit got me sweating. It was good. 75 cents.
Can we do a heart affirmation?
Yes, please. Thank you.
I can love myself as I am and others as they are. I am worthy of my own love. I can love myself as I am and others as they are. I am worthy of my own love.
I love that.
I do too. I do too. Thank you.
I think I'm going to have to clock out, ladies.
I think it's
Or
about
you
time.
too. I thought of my favorite song about the heart.
Yes, let's hear it.
At least the first one that I can think of right now, which finally came to me right in time. It's by delightful folk band called Bird Talker, and it's called Free Like a Broken Heart.
Wow.
Will you sing a little bit?
Free like a broken heart. Free like a broken heart, like a broken heart. My heart's tumbling all around me. You don't have to fight. You don't have to hold tight. I'll sing it all for you another time.
I love it so much. That was so beautiful. I love that we ended on a song.
Oh, me too. What better way to do the heart chakra?
Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Nikki.
love you, girls. Thank
I
you,
love you
thank
too.
Thank you.
I love everybody out there watching. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. Thank you, Nikki. It was
Shout out to each and every one of you tuning in. Thank you, thank you.
lovely, lovely.
Be well.
Bye, Scott.
Bye.
Bye, Scout.
Bye. Love you. It's Scout.
I need Comer.